Hello, it's me Harley, back at it again for yet another video. And today I am so ridiculously hot and bothered. Sorry there's only one video coming up this week. Honestly, it's August and my pot has been playing up like anything. So I have not been feeling at all well recently. It's the hottest time of the year and my health condition is very angry with that. Not that there's anything I can do, but that's my life. Anyway, seeing as my piercing video was so successful for some reason, I don't know why, I thought I'd go into my other piercing horror stories. And this involves my nape piercing in particular. Now then, I've never really shown this piercing on YouTube before because it's on the back of my neck and usually I'm either talking to a camera or filming, so it never gets seen. But today I am going to bring light to the fact that I have a nape piercing. I'll show you. I don't know how well you can see, but let me move my necklace a bit out of the way. I have 2 dermal implants on my neck. What do you think? That is correct. I currently have 2 dermal implants in my neck. Now, if you don't know what a dermal implant is, I'll give a brief description of what it looks like, and I'll also insert a couple of images of what they look like when they're not in the skin. Essentially, a pocket is made in the skin and almost like a little hook is put into the pocket, it heals round, and then you have a top which can be unscrewed and you can change the jewellery on top. And you are left with little gems or balls or spikes, whatever you want, sticking out your skin. Now then, I haven't always had dermal implants in my neck. I originally had a barbell. And it was kind of like a barbell which was that kind of shape. Because if you get just a flat barbell or one that's curved slightly, that'll reject so quickly. In fact, I still have it. And there is a very good reason why it isn't in my neck now, and that is the start of my piercing horror story. When did I get my nape originally pierced? That was back in 2015, early 2015, I think it was like January, February-ish, but I'd recently turned 15 and I wanted something more than a lobe piercing because at the time I only had 4 standard lobe piercings. I had no other piercings whatsoever. I decided I really liked the look of and thought a nape piercing was really cute, and I still feel that way. In fact, my dermals on the back of the neck are probably one of my favourite piercings ever. In fact, I think they are my favourite. Sorry, all the other piercings. That was my first non-lobe piercing. Bit extreme. Usually people who have a new piercing go either to their nose or to like the helix or something, and I didn't. I cut out the middleman and went, I'm going straight to nape. I had no problems with it. It healed pretty well. The most annoying thing was the balls on the jewellery kept unscrewing and falling off. That was the biggest problem I had with my nape piercing. And it meant I had to repeatedly go back to the shop to get new balls to put on top, so I no longer have the original balls to my piercing. Rest in peace, little balls who are probably floating around somewhere on Earth, buried probably in mud and gunk and stuff after years of living on the streets, but they fell off and they went. So why did I change my jewellery? What happened? Well, my piercing had been so happy and snug in its place until I went on holiday. And I went on holiday to a pretty exotic country for me. I'm not going to go into details about which country it was, mainly because I don't want to have people scared of like venomous bugs and things around there. That is such a weird detail, but I got bitten by a venomous bug. Whatever the bug was, it decided to land on top of my jewellery, use my jewellery as a nice little seat, and bite over the piercing. And this bite had a bad reaction to the like venom and things that this little bug, whatever it was, put into my skin. Yeah, that was disgusting. There are no words to describe how foul that was. It was truly, truly horrible. I treated it by going to the doctors and using creams and stuff on it to get the infection out. But obviously this healing process triggered something else. And that triggered my piercing, the entire piercing, to start to reject. That was a truly sad, sad moment for me, feeling the jewellery getting pushed out. Because as I said, it had been really happy and safe in my body until this bug decided to have a dinner on my neck. Now it rejected, and I realised it was rejecting and I had to take it out. So I unscrewed it, took it out my skin and let it re-heal. I'm going to get the jewellery to show you. So this little bar right here, for 2 years of my life, sat snugly and securely in the back of my neck. Yep. But I didn't want to lose my piercing as such. I had to wait for it to re-heal. I knew I was going to replace it and it wasn't going to be retired for long. Ugh, sorry, I think I just spat at you. Sorry guys. At this point, I'd got a new piercer. For quite a while, I used to travel quite the distance to go to get my neck pierced, and a few other piercings that I got. I had my tongue pierced at the original place. I had my first 2 helix piercings there. I had my industrial pierced there. So I had a few piercings done at the place that gave me this and did my original Nape piercing. However, since then, a new piercer had turned up in my hometown and she had quite a good reputation. So I decided to try her out and I had a few piercings done by her. So I decided to go to her to get my neck redone. And it was at this point she said to me, I'll redo your neck with a bar like that, but I would recommend you look into and research dermal anchors. In my opinion, they are the more sensible option to get. They are far less likely to reject. It's not impossible for them to reject, but generally speaking, dermal anchors are safer and just more permanent than the bars. So I went home, researched it, decided, great, yeah, I'm gonna get them done. My neck at this point was fully healed and I could get 2 dermal anchors put in. Everything went fine in the shop. They were healing nicely. I was following all the correct care for them. And after 2 weeks of having my neck in bandages and stuff to stop them falling out, because that is a risk when you get them freshly done, I took the bandages off. Obviously it wasn't the same bandage I was pierced with, I changed them every day, so I took off the plaster dressing, whatever you want to call it, for the last time, and I was told after 2 weeks it should be okay. Then later on that day, when I was getting ready to go to bed, I pulled my t-shirt off and with it came one of my dermals. Yay! Now that sounds incredibly painful. In my personal experience, it wasn't. It just came out. Like a drawer coming out of a cabinet, or I don't know, a letter out of an envelope. It wasn't painful, which actually is rather surprising. But it came out smoothly and cleanly. There wasn't really any blood. There was a tiny bit, and I was just like, well, damn, I'm gonna have to get this re-pierced, but I want to make sure that it's healing okay and that, well, I've not done anything really bad to it. So I went back to the piercer the next day because when this happened, it was night time and it came out, there was nothing that I could do. So I just went straight to the piercing shop the next day, and the piercer actually went, so what happened? And I was like, I've accidentally pulled out one of my dermal implants, here it is. And she went, my God, that came out smoothly. She went, I am not kidding you, this jewellery is fine. If I sanitise it and stuff, and with your neck the way it is at the moment, I can probably just pop it back in. Like, and there shouldn't be any real issue. It's not rejected out or anything like that. It just kind of fell out of its opening. So that's what she did. I had the little anchor put straight back into my pocket, and it's been there ever since. And I've not had any problems with it, really. Sometimes my dermal anchors can be a bit temperamental and just go, oi, take care of us. And the main thing that I found with that is usually my dermal anchors tell me when I'm about to get ill. It's really weird, but if I'm poorly, they get a bit irritated. And they usually get a bit irritated just before I get really sick. So usually I can tell if my piercings are telling me off, I'm about to get ill. The weird superhero powers of my nape piercing. And so that is my nape piercing horror story. I don't know what else I could say about that. If you want to get your nape pierced, I would just say cut out the middleman, get it done with dermals. I must say, both the barbell route and the needle and dermal anchor route both feel really weird. Personally, for me, I didn't find getting my nape done was painful. It just felt weird. When it was done with a barbell, I kind of like had it felt like I was having two little holes screwed into my neck. Which sounds incredibly painful, but it wasn't. It was just the feeling of like screwing. And then it was this really weird alien sensation that just felt like a little wiggly thing going underneath my skin. Very peculiar feeling. I've never had anything like that since. Even, say, if you get like a drip put into your skin in a hospital, it feels completely different to that. It's so bizarre, I must say. And then when it comes to dermal anchors, it kind of, when the pockets are being made, I don't know. Again, it kind of feels like a little alien is making a little burrow in your neck. It doesn't feel like it's quite having a stroll like the bar does, because it feels like a little insect is having a stroll in your skin with the bar. But with the anchors, it feels like it's just making a little burrow and going to sleep. Yeah. I hope that doesn't put people who want to get the nape done, like, go, okay, no, I'm not getting it done anymore, because that sounds horrible. It's not as bad as it sounds. It's just bizarre. Just be prepared to go, oh, that's an unusual feeling. It's not painful, it's just unusual. So, on that note, always go to a reputable piercer, guys. Don't do piercings at home. On that note, I'll say toodle pip beans and see you next time. Bye!
Well, this is unexpected. It seems my microdermal anchor's just fallen out my neck. I don't even know why. It's been as happy as anything, just sitting in my neck, doing normal things, and like, it's shown no signs of rejection or bad healing or anything, but I just felt it sticking up out my neck. And like, I could feel the foot sticking out. So I had no other real choice other than just rip it out. Oh God! In case you're wondering if it hurt, it didn't at all. Like, I genuinely, it just started falling out. In fact, I didn't even feel it start to fall out. It just was sticking up, and I was like, oh. Well, this is not normal.